So in this video, we're going to talk about the imaginary unit I squared. So it is a mathematical fact that I squared is equal to -1. So if I have something like the square root of -75, I could write that as the square root of -1 times 75. Then I could substitute for the -1, I can put in this I squared. So let me do that. I'm going to put in the I squared. So we know that the square root of I squared would just be I. For 75, I have to break that into what we call I can take the square root of it and I can't take the square root of it. The biggest square number that divides 75 is 25, and it goes in there 3 times. The square root of 25 is 5. We typically may write it as 5i square root of 3. Now there's a shortcut. Whenever I see a -1 or a negative under a radical sign, I know it's always going to come out to have an I in it. So instead of doing all of these steps, I do something called pluck your I's out. So instead of doing this or doing all of these steps, I would have done this. I would have said I'm going to pluck out my I, and then I'm going to split my square root of 75 into 25 and 3. And then I would have done square root of 25 as 5i square root of 3. Let's try this one more time. So this time I've got the square root of -8 over 11. So I would probably start, I'm going to take the shortcut. I see a negative under a radical, so I'm going to pluck my i's out. And then I'm going to break this into a numerator and a denominator. I'm allowed to split that up like that. I need to rationalize the denominator this time. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by square root of 11. So across the top, I get 8 times 11 is the square root of 88. And 11 times its square root of 11 times itself is just 11. I do need to break this 88 into a can and a can't do box for my radical. The biggest square number that divides 88 is 4, 22 times. The square root of 4 is 2. So I get I2 square root of 22 over 11. Probably I would rewrite that as 2i square root of 22 over 11.